everyone, my name is Anya Anti. I'm a foreign conceptual photographer and storytelling photo artist. In this mini 4 video series, I'm going to show you my process and approach to photography, share some insights, tips and tricks I use in my work, and I will create one artwork from start to finish. And today I will be talking about all things pre-production. Where to find inspiration, storytelling tools, how to plan a shoot, and how to conduct research. Let's talk about inspiration. The most fundamental part of conceptual photography is a strong storytelling idea. That's why it's important to develop a clear concept before a photo shoot. One of the best ways to get inspired is by developing your visual taste and exploring different types of art. Think about what makes them good and appealing. And over time, this process will build up an internal collection of visual experiences. Think of it as a kind of visual library that you can draw inspiration from when creating your own artwork. It will help spark your creativity and give you new ideas. But always make sure to create your own interpretation of others' work rather than copying. Creativity is like a muscle. You need to exercise it. Try to see things in new, unexpected ways. Start with one visual element, like a prop, model, location, costume, or mood, and use it as a foundation to build your concept and story around it. I find inspiration in nature, locations, different objects, films, fairy tales, folklore, and other artists. Sometimes a movie or book sparks ideas to reimagine classic characters. I also use fantasy themes like unicorns or mermaids and everyday items in creative ways. Travel and unique places like colorful hills or grassy rooftops inspire my work. I try to look at things from a new perspective to turn ordinary objects into imaginative, story-driven images. For the photo shoot I'm planning today, my inspiration came from the location. While searching for a place to shoot, I thought of a local photo studio in New York where I've worked before. As I browsed their website, I came across a room with dark walls and a vintage bathtub. I've used this space before for a mermaid-themed artwork, and I've always loved this studio room. This time, I decided to return to the same location but take a different creative direction. I plan to fill the bathtub with balloons and use visual metaphors and symbolism to give the scene imaginative meaning and add more creativity. Creating a concept and using tools of storytelling. In order to create conceptual and storytelling art, I use the tools of storytelling. Storytelling tools are the techniques and resources used to craft compelling ideas that engage and resonate with the audience. These tools help create a concept and a story. For me, they are essential for making my art more meaningful, conveying the message, and engaging with the audience. Here are some examples of storytelling tools. Character development. Conceptual photography is not just a portrait of a person. The main subject in the photographs usually represents something, an idea or a concept, and plays an important role in story and concept development. For my bubble bath concept, the subject isn't the main focus, but it still plays an important role in bringing the scene to life. Including a person adds a sense of realism and makes the image more immersive and relatable. After all, bubble baths are rarely seen empty. There's usually someone in them. That's why I felt it was necessary to include a model in the artwork. The presence of the subject helps tell a story, adds emotional depth, and allows viewers to connect more easily with the concept. Styling. Styling choices for the subject, such as clothes, hair, and makeup, are also important and can affect the concept. For example, a costume can be a part of your idea and play an important role in conveying the concept. For my photo shoot, normally people don't wear clothes when taking a bath, but I didn't want my model to be nude or feel uncomfortable during the shoot. That's why I'm going to ask her to wear a nude or beige color top. This way I can still create the illusion of bare skin. I plan to photograph her from behind, focusing on her bare shoulders to keep the image visually consistent with the bubble bath concept. Setting. Choosing the location for the artwork is an important storytelling tool that can help create a sense of place and atmosphere, add depth, and impact the themes explored in the story. Location can also become a part of the concept and can be turned into a set that enhances the story. The studio I chose for this concept is the main reason the idea came to life in the first place. Its dark walls and vintage white bathtub sparked the entire vision for the shoot. Because of that, the location isn't just the backdrop, it's a key element of the story. Association, symbolism, and metaphors. Use associations, visual symbols, and metaphors to convey abstract concepts or themes. These tools help convey complex emotions and concepts in a powerful, indirect way and can add depth and meaning to your work. Associations are mental connections viewers make between elements based on personal or cultural experiences. Symbolism involves using specific objects, colors, or images to represent abstract ideas. Metaphors go a step further by visually representing one idea through the imagery of another, encouraging the viewer to interpret deeper meanings. For my concept, I'm using white and transparent balloons as a metaphor for soap bubbles and bath foam. They'll help create a whimsical, dreamy atmosphere while adding a playful visual element to the scene. I also plan to include either a paper boat for the model to hold or a small sailboat figurine. A paper boat would symbolize childhood, innocence, fragility, hope, creativity, and imagination. On the other hand, a sailboat represents freedom, exploration, independence, and the idea of the journey. I love both concepts and will choose the one that fits best with the visual setup and mood of the location. Either way, it will be a meaningful and charming little detail to complete the story. Visualization, sketches, and mood boards. Visualizing your concept is a great way to better understand how your final image should look like and what you'll need to bring it to life. Start with simple sketches. Quick doodles, basic shapes, or notes will work fine, even if you're not great at drawing. Personally, I like to do a quick sketch in Photoshop using my pen tablet. Mood boards are also great for organizing your project. Collect image references that inspire you, help set the mood, show styling ideas, suggest props, and define your color palette. This will clarify your vision, also make it easier to communicate ideas with a team. Just be careful using copyrighted work. Sharing these visual references with the others ensures everyone is on the same page and understands the direction of the shoot. Research, model, and location scouting. It is always a good idea to do research before the shoot. Find the right model and make sure they are available and interested in your project. Reach out to them ahead of time, be polite and respectful of their time. Scout for a location depending on your project. It can be an outdoor location such as a street or a park. Find out if you need to get a shooting permit or any other arrangements. If you're shooting in nature, make sure you are careful, respectful, and pay attention to the signs. It can also be an indoor location such as a professional studio or an apartment. If it's a studio, make sure to book the time. For this photo shoot that I'm planning, I was lucky to already have the perfect model in mind, someone I've worked with before and who fits the concept well. I've also shot in the studio previously, so I'm familiar with the space and know the lighting conditions, which meant I didn't need to visit in advance to scout the location. So I reached out to the model to make sure she's available, sent over the mood board, and provided her with a few instructions to help her prepare for the shoot. Plan your props and wardrobe. Plan your set in advance. Depending on your concept and ideas for the photo shoot, you may need to use props. I personally prefer using real props and shooting on location. I believe the most compelling results come from creating physical props and effects rather than relying entirely on post-production. Building and shooting as much as possible on set can help make your scene feel more realistic and immersive. If you're skilled with DIY projects, you can create your own props. If not, you can buy, rent, borrow, or commission other artists. Great sources include online platforms such as Amazon, eBay, and Etsy, as well as local arts and crafts stores, home decor and home improvement stores, body supply stores, and thrift stores for unique clothing items. Also consider the styling elements for your subject, clothing, hair and makeup, and how they support your concept. If styling isn't the major focus, I recommend keeping it simple, minimal, and timeless, so it doesn't distract from the overall image. But if it's a key part of your story, take the time to prepare and style accordingly. For my photo shoot, props will play a crucial role in bringing the concept to life. The main focus is building the balloon installation, so I ordered clear and white balloons along with an electric pump to make the setup process faster and easier. I also got colored construction paper to create a paper boat and purchased a miniature sailboat figurine. I chose one with navy blue sails instead of white, as it will stand out nicely against the white balloon background and add a strong visual contrast. As for styling, it was pretty straightforward. I asked the model to wear natural makeup, put her hair up, and bring a beige colored top. I also ordered a white tulle tutu skirt as a second option. She will wear it as a top and the airy texture and fluffy silhouette of the tulle fabric will visually mimic soap foam, enhancing the overall theme of the shoot. Think about your lighting options. Always consider your lighting options ahead of time. If you're shooting in a studio, make sure they have all the equipment you need, or plan to rent or bring your own. If you're shooting on location, scout the natural light in advance. Pay attention to its quality, direction, and intensity at different times of the day. It's always a good idea to bring a collapsible reflector. It's lightweight and can make a big difference. Think about whether you'll need any additional lighting equipment, such as portable lights or modifiers. Also be sure to choose the right time of the day for your shoot based on the look you're going for, and prepare the lighting gear accordingly. The studio I'll be shooting in has large windows and gets plenty of natural light. However, I still plan to bring a reflector and a continuous light just in case it's too dark or overcast on the day of the shoot and I need some additional lighting. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video where I'll talk about production and walk you through my shooting process.